All right. Hi, my name is Licia Jean Orsini Labita. You can call me AJ. I am your MC tonight. You're going to regret giving me a microphone by the end of the evening, but that's okay. Welcome, everybody. All right. And I'm going to introduce these lovely people here. I have my script. I'm going to read it. We've got Stephanie, director and founder, creative producer of For Artists by Artists. And Kiera, co-director, co-producer for program, social media marketing, and marketing manager of FABA. And I did some producing, so that's the thing. Yeah, it's all right. I did some producing. Okay. I bring the fun. I bring the silly. Okay, so I'm going to turn the microphone over to Stephanie.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm so excited. This is like such an amazing, beautiful moment. There's so many beautiful people here. And yeah, I'm just like, this is so special. And I'm just really appreciative of everybody here. And our amazing crew. Shout out to our crew that made this day happen. So before I get started, something really important that I want to share is today is May 15th. And for those of you who don't know, today is Al-Nakba Day. This is important in relation to what's happening right now to the Palestinian people. And I'm going to read something from Palestinian Youth Movement about what today means. So for 77 years, the Palestinian people have been subjected to genocide, siege, dispossession, and forced displacement, enduring unfathomable brutality at the hands of the Zionist colonial project. For the past 57 days, the Zionist entity has imposed a complete siege on Gaza in Palestine, barring the entrance of any food, water, or medicine, despite worsening conditions and international outcry. Yet, despite decades of Zionist aggression, for 77 years, Palestinians continue to resist, fighting for their lands, their liberation, and their return. So I say that for folks who don't know about what this is, I really encourage you to go research, look into it. If you're local to Boston, Boston Coalition for Palestine is a great organization to follow, and as well as Palestinian Youth Movement. So thanks for listening to that really important acknowledgement before we get started today. So yeah, FABA, we're here for Artists by Artists. It's like so crazy. I'm gonna read this little blurb from the proposal that we wrote for this program in February 2022. Well, we actually probably wrote it in like December, but we submitted it in February 2022. Stephanie and Laurel, the producers, share a vision for a flourishing creative industry that does not bar access based on gender, race, age, socioeconomic group, or any other identifying factor. They believe working with the city to provide high-quality media services to Boston's artists, art educators, and creative professionals can help realize this vision. So that's like the spirit of what we did with this. Like, we were like, hey, let's get some money, make some really cool media for artists that make really cool art, and create an ecosystem where, you know, that money's not just going to one person to do one thing, right? It's going towards a project that a lot of people work on together and all bring their skills together and make something really amazing. And then an artist or a group can go on to use that and, you know, get opportunities or market themselves or just advance in their career, or, you know, even just like kind of show what their aesthetic is, you know, like whatever. Everyone has different goals, right? That's what video strategy is. So that is kind of like what FABA is about. And I think what's really cool is tonight we will get to watch those videos that we made for the first season with the 4 amazing artists and artist groups that we were able to select through the application process, and get to hear from them about the process, and also get to talk to like some people who are on the crew, and also some people who kind of helped make FABA happen, like Laurel Hula, who helped creative produce in development for FABA. And so like, I think tonight is just really about celebrating, but also just like thinking about what we can do when we collaborate across disciplines, and also like what we have in common. Like, you might be a musician, you might be a performer, I might be a filmmaker, maybe I do other things too, but we all kind of live in this city and in this area, and we kind of have similar struggles, we have similar experiences. So I think it's like cool to kind of be all in the room together and like celebrate, but also kind of talk and brainstorm and relate to each other a little bit. So I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit, and I'm gonna pass off the mic to Kiera, and they're gonna talk about some achievements that we had during FABA.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you for the script. Love having a script, so helpful. Thank you for the acknowledgement, Steph. Very important to point out. And thank you all for being here. FABA, we're doing it. So some achievements that we were able to accomplish as FABA is we hired 99% women and gender expansive crew. That's a pretty big number. Give it up, give it up. We provided 21 work opportunities, paying over $20,000 in crew labor. Money back to the people, let's go. That creator economy. We served 100% BIPOC artists living in neighborhoods most impacted by COVID. And if you think about it, back in the time when we did it in 2023, 2024, 2025 now, it's when we've been rebuilding that creator economy since COVID. So it's really important to do that for us. So yeah, these are really great stats. And I'm going to pass it over to Steph again.
Thank you. Thanks, Kara. And yeah, I think it just goes to show, like, it is possible. Like, we can do this. We can create opportunities that we aren't seeing for ourselves. And that's kind of what Laurel and I were thinking about when we, like, put this grant together. We were like, yeah, like, we can hire, like, a crew of all women and genderqueer folks and, like, do this and make really great work. And we can serve artists who also, like, fit these identities and, like, are making great work and probably aren't getting the acknowledgement they deserve and, like, or the funding they deserve to get expensive video services like this, right? So yeah, I'm just super proud of that. Like, I think it's so incredible. Yeah, but before we start, the last thing I want to do is just say thank you to a lot of people that helped make this happen. Firstly, special shout out to the Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture. They funded season 1, they funded this screening. And, you know, we had a lot of support and they were very, like, understanding, like, through this process where we were kind of, you know, we had this kind of large grant that we needed to manage and there were some, like, things we needed to learn along the way, and they trusted us and our vision. So particularly thank you to Julia Ryan and Samantha Rose Hale for their help from the Arts and Culture Office. We also want to shout out Another Age Productions. They provided us studio space for, like, our biggest production for season 1 and equipment. They also supported us with some gear for this event. And specifically, thank you to Tyler McWilliams and also Jessica Huggins, who at the time was working there and made the connection, kind of like, hey, like, check out this cool program that's happening, and kind of helped blossom that. And again, such an amazing example of, like, when we show up for each other, like, put our resources up for each other, like, that's a really important thing to do. And special shout out to Talamas, Scott Levita and Nick Sabia for, like, just hooking us up with gear, like, being there when we had questions, helping us prep cameras. I need to flip to the next page. There's so many people over there. And we want to thank our partners for this event, Women in Film Video New England, Talamas, Secret Society of Black Creatives, for participating and promoting this event. And just a few more folks to thank from our season 1 production, Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts, Luke Blackadar, contract support. Hit them up if you are an artist and you need help with, like, contracts or any legal stuff. It's income based, so you can get free or really discounted legal support. Rachel Domond, who was our amazing season 1 graphic designer and did our branding. Haley Carloni, who did our 2025 graphic design and this sick logo. It's so cool. I'm, like, obsessed with it. And Lisa Marie Menino, who is kicking around somewhere in here. But she's the one who helped us out with this awesome space. Use this space. It's you don't have to pay a room fee if you're doing a free public community event, I believe. Hopefully I'm right about that. But hit her up if you're, like, interested in using this space. It's really cool. We did what we wanted with it, and I think it came out great. Yeah, so I'm going to pass it off to AJ to get us started, and yeah, we're about to watch some awesome videos, so thanks so much.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Kara. Oh my God, I got it. Go away. Okay. Stephanie's going to do something she hasn't done in months. Sit down. Okay, there we go. There she goes. And she's down. Perfect, great, wonderful. Okay. All right, let's watch some videos. All right, first up on our list, we have Ayana Mack. All right, Ayana is a visual artist and designer offering workshops and sharing cultural relevant stories through fine art products, mission-driven marketing, and public art initiatives. She brings her creative visions to life through design that uplifts and empowers. So in FABA Season 1, we had the privilege of highlighting Ayana's artistry and the powerful story behind her visual art and community impact. And we dove deep into her creative process and the impact that she hopes to make with her practice as a visual artist, painter, and graphic designer. So, Ayana's vision takes center stage in her FABA Season 1 video. All right, come on up, Ayana. Come on up here. Come on down. Welcome, get in your hot seat. I'm gonna hand you that microphone, but we have another guest that I would like to have come up here, Laurel. Laurel, come on up. Come into my hot seat. This is my Oprah moment that I get to have. Welcome. All right. So Laurel, first let me introduce you because we've gotten to know who Ayana is. So Laurel, you're kind of like a little bit of like a secret weapon here, okay? Laurel is an independent producer and writer, director, and board member of Women in Film and Video of New England, Whitney. She was the creative producer for the development stage of FABA and helped develop the program, secure the funding and the vision, and create the budget for Season 1. So thank you for your role in developing all that. So the first question I have for both of you is, why is FABA and the opportunities it provides important to you from your perspectives?
Okay.
You got the mic, you go.
I'm so emotional, y'all. It's so wild to see it in real time, even though I've seen it, but it just feels so good. But why is it important? It was very empowering. Like, when I saw myself on the screen and continue to, I see myself differently, right? Like, sometimes it takes people capturing, like, your magic, right? Looking directly. It takes people capturing it, but also, like, being warm and understanding, and when you're confused and you're unsure of your path and how you talk about your own business, when you have folks who are like, we're gonna figure this out together, versus like you having to understand it and know it, there's something that softens up in you, then you become vulnerable, and then you really start to speak your truth. And I think with you all, it was like this space to speak my truth, and it allowed me to express myself in my business in a way that feels very authentic. Like, looking at that, even though it's 2 years later, I'm like, ooh, like, that's it. So, yeah.
I think that, this is the reason why it's worth it. Like, Steph and I at least are artists, and we know how hard it can be and discouraging it can be, and isolating. And so we just wanted to allow artists the opportunity to show off like what they can do and their talents. And it's also really hard, especially if you're a visual artist, to talk about what you're doing and show people and have examples of your work. But if you have like a 1 to 2 minute video that you can, you meet someone at a party and you're like, oh, this is what I do, and they're like, oh, like, send me a video, you're like, okay, here you go, like, here's a little thing, like, so you can remember me. And yeah, it's just like a good marketing tool. And and I love what you said about your confidence too, and seeing yourself in that light also. It's so important.
So what was kind of part of the vision for you and Stephanie when you set off on this FABA journey? Like, how did we get here?
I don't even know. It was so long ago. But yeah, so I think initially we're both filmmakers. We know how expensive it is to make a video, especially if you're an artist. Like, that's a big expense and you might not be able to afford. So we wanted to offer video services, and then we came up with this other element that it would be really cool if the crews were also all people who were marginalized or didn't have the opportunities and needed experience, because the only way to get on set is to know someone or to already have experience doing it, and so to offer those opportunities to people who needed them. So yeah, it kind of started with like, okay, what would we want to make videos about, and like who would we want to work with, and then how can we really get this government money and pay the most amount of people, like artists in the city and stuff. yeah, so it kind of evolved that way.
For you, Ayanna, what was the scope of how you marketed yourself before you had this opportunity?
So my background is in marketing, and I was heavy on social media, heavy with like my website, but I did not have any like really beautiful video work to support it. So I had all of these little pieces, but I didn't have that one little magic thing, right, that I can just send off. So what you said earlier about the grant, I literally add this video in like RFPs. I just got one, and that was a video I added in as like a quick, this is who I am. So previous, like before this video, I didn't have that like, how do you say, like, this just magic little thing to get me to where I needed to be. And I still, I use it, and it feels really good to add it to opportunities.
Have you had any unexpected things happen with the video now that you've got it?
I think people know what I do. So the thing is, I am very forward-facing about being a visual artist, but folks didn't know that I had a background in marketing. And my background in marketing was like a decade. Like I was in corporate, and they were like, "You know how to make flyers and books and all that?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I used to do." And so this video allowed people to really see that it wasn't just visual art, but it was also marketing, and it blends together, so you can get this perspective that's different from other artists or creatives you may work with. So it really just helped to like bring some clarity to the work that I do.
What was it like working with the team, them getting to say, okay, we're focusing on you? What was that like?
It was hard. It was so hard because I am used to being on the other side of it, of supporting other people, other artists in different ways. So this was a time where I got to figure my stuff out, and I was allowed to figure it out. So it was like, well, Ayanna, like, what are your goals, and how do you want to talk about your business, and what do you need to get from this video? And I never asked myself that. Like, that's not something I'm thinking of. I'm like, oh, put this thing out, do this, but like, not never, but I don't believe I ever really got to a point where I was selfish about how I talked about my brand. I did it for other people, but didn't do it for myself. Yeah.
I think there's something about that, just kind of, for, especially women, where we're giving constantly,
Yes.
and it's time to be selfish once in a
Yes.
while. That's great.
Yeah.
So for you, Laurel, now you're involved with Women in Film, but in your own right, you're a writer, director. What is it like seeing something like this that was kind of this idea that you had in a cloud that came down and is now real? What is it like seeing some of this for you?
It's really cool. I mean, this is my first time seeing the videos, and I was just when you were talking, I was reminded of when Steph and I were thinking about like the schedule for it, and we were so excited at the idea of getting to really like talk to these artists and hear their stories, and like what did they want to tell through these videos, and helping them kind of figure out like a narrative. And so it's really cool to see what has been created from that. And as an artist myself, I know it can be hard a lot of us have like so many different aspects of our art or of our career or whatever of ourselves. And it's hard to kind of make it cohesive and share all of that to people. And so it's really impressive to see that being done in such a short, concise way where it feels authentic, and you get to see the talents of the people.
So you ready for season 2?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Real quick, tell us a little bit about Women in Film and kind of what your hopes are for the organization, and also maybe what would a FABA season 2? What would your hope be for that?
My hopes and dreams. Yeah, Women in Film is a organization for anyone to be a part of, but it's meant to provide opportunities and just support and resources for people working in the film industry. There's lots of cool events they have, from like business and legal workshops to table reads and networking events. So a really great resource, a lot of exciting things coming up in the next few years, the next few months. And for FABA season 2, I mean, the possibilities are endless. The greater, yeah.
Manifest.
City Hall.
Yeah.
I think it would just be to make more people aware of what we're doing and the opportunities, and yeah, I'd be interested to kind of know like how you heard about it and stuff. Like I don't like because we were talking about we're like how are we gonna market this and make sure it gets to the right people, and that was like a big concern of ours. Instagram. I love it.
Right on this here. Well, we'll come back to you on that. What would you say to an artist, whether it is working with somebody like FABA or the importance of video? What should they do now that you've had this experience?
What should they do?
Yeah, like if FABA comes around.
Oh yeah, child. You work with them. Yeah, right. Immediately. I think that you should be open to being selfish and talking about yourself and your business and your creativity. I think that we're allowed that space, and when someone comes with that opportunity, if there's a grant, if there are people who are willing and open to help you, take it. Don't shrink back and be like, oh no, I don't need, you need it probably. And if you don't necessarily need it, it would be just an additional resource. That would be awesome to have. So I think be open to things like this coming, and like, you just never know what you get from it. Like beautiful relationships have come from this. Even, it was my house filled with, I've never had that many people in my home. And it was like the hottest day. It was crazy. Like it was so hot, and I don't have AC, y'all. And everyone was and they were just beautiful and amazing, and it's just hot and just making magic. I keep saying hot because it really was like they're on the background video being like, okay, we're gonna do this, we got this. But it was, I think it's not closing yourself off to what exists out here for you, through organizations, through people, through relationships, because there's a lot of magic out there, and FABA has that, and there's a lot of intention, and I appreciated that about the work that y'all did, about hiring. I remember walking through my home and being like, oh my gosh, like, look at this, and then talking about like the facts and who you hire and why you like, that level of intention is so like, it's so fire, and we don't have that. We don't have people who are like, we are gonna hire, we're gonna hire intentionally, we're gonna look for artists in this way. It takes a lot of work. And to do that speaks volumes to what y'all have going on. So I'm gonna stop my little TikTok. Yes.
Yeah, that was something else that we really wanted to focus on is like, I think on the set, I wasn't on set, but hopefully on the set, it was an environment where everyone felt really comfortable, which is not always the case when you're a crew member, when you're talent. You were talent. And as an artist, like it's, you're being very vulnerable, and it's nice to be surrounded by people where you feel safe and like you can really talk about yourself truthfully. And so we really wanted to create that environment for the artists so that the videos could be the best that they could be.
I love it's intention. That's like the magic word. What is next for you? Where can we find you? Where can all the lovely people find you?
So I, almost 6 months ago, completed my first large-scale mural on Mother Caroline Academy. Thank you. It is in Dorchester. There's a mural unveiling in 2 weeks. It's on my social media. It's my first 45 feet, at an all-girls school. So that is what's coming up next for me. But you can find me on Instagram, ayanamak.co, on my website, where I keep things updated.
Perfect. Thank you so much. What's next for you?
I don't know. FABA season 2?
FABA season 2.
No, I've got some things, in development and stuff, and figuring things out. But you can find me on Instagram, Laurel Kula. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I'll get to work with some of the people in this room.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much for being here. A round of applause. Amazing. Perfect. All right, one more time. I need a nice round of applause. So, Stephanie, darling, would you like to move on to the next thing? Are you ready? Okay. Okay. So, coming up next, is your Punky with us yet? She's not with us. When Punky does get here, we'll grab her, but we're going to keep moving forward. So, listen, the streets out here are mean. We get it. All right. So coming up next, we're going to see the work of Punky the Singer, who is a Boston-based singer-songwriter whose unique sound and powerful words not only entertain but also empower and inspire. Punky's journey from struggle to triumph makes her an emblem of resilience, while her tenacity and talent mark her for a very bright future. So we had the honor of capturing Punky's raw talent in FABA Season 1. She performed 3 powerful songs live in Another Age studio. This was a big, big to-do, showcasing her incredible voice and her emotional depth. This video incorporated cued lighting, set design, and a multi-cam setup. It was a lot. It was great. So from the energy on set to the magic of her live performance, it was truly an unforgettable experience. All right, that was beautiful. I love that song so much. Okay, when Punky's gonna come in, but I also want to welcome up to my metaphorical couch here is Jessica Estelle Hutchins. Come on down. Get on up here. Don't you pretend not to come up here. Awesome. Here you go, darling. All right, Punky is gonna join us in just a sec. Hey. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's Punky. Come right on down. I know I'm not even going to give you poor thing a moment to catch your breath. Go ahead, grab a seat. Welcome. We just watched your video and it was amazing. All right, catch your breath. So let me tell you who this wonderful person is here. Jessica Estelle Hutchins is a creative producer whose work focuses on nonfiction storytelling and social impact. She's the director of activation and community engagement at Embrace. We got a pin. We got the Embrace. And the director of membership at the Secret Society of Black Creatives, whose mission is to promote and empower Black and brown filmmakers throughout networking, education, advocacy, and job postings. Jessica is an active and passionate advocate for diversity in the film industry here in Boston, and she brought FABA to the attention of Another Age Productions, which is where we shot this video, and they've supported us through the space for Punky's live performance. And it was our largest production for Season 1. It was quite the to-do. So, all right, let's kick it off. So, Jessica, let's start with you. When Stephanie says we need a space, how did that conversation go down?
Well, first of all, I want to say good evening. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Stephanie and I were trying to figure this out recently, like how we met. I feel like it was Women in Film. We met somehow, and at the time, I was a producer at Another Age Productions. And I remember Stephanie coming to me saying, oh my God, we really need studio space. It's so hard to find space. It's expensive. And I was like, oh my God, come to AAP. Come to us in Newton. And we had, at Another Age has a massive studio space, and that also includes a broadcast studio and a movie theater. And so we gave Stephanie and some of her team a tour and really walked through the whole process. And so that's how all of that came to be.
So, Punky, talk to us a little bit about how first of all, you found FABA and ended up in this place doing a music video.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm so late. You all look beautiful tonight. I found FABA because I was looking for local support, I want to say, to try to get into the scene and understand who's out here to supporting everybody. So I was I was on Instagram, and I believe Art Boston's the Instagram page posted, and I was like, let me send it in my my little resume and see if they what we can come up with. And it was very fun. It was fun discovering and meeting everybody that was a part of the production and team.
So you had done music videos before, but there was something a little bit different about doing a music video with FABA. So what were the main differences for you?
I want to say my first ever, my only other music video, it was just me and my director. It was just literally me in the pool. I was like, there's a pool. We had a little set, and we did the video. But with this team, it was I came in, and there was a makeup artist, there was production, there was lights, there was behind the scenes people, there were content people. It was so many beautiful ladies and audio people, and I think there was 2 guys on the set, but I loved that. It was just, everybody was just you look good, I love her. It was just positive and beautiful to be a part of. It made me feel empowered.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. And so, Jessica, I want to come back to you. Why is it so important for women, especially women of color, to feel empowered in this way?
Oh, that's a big question.
I know.
I think it's important for women and women of color in particular to be empowered all of the time, not just when when we're making content. But it's important because we're kind of at the core of telling our own stories. And so far too many times we've seen what it looks like when somebody else who doesn't have our lived experience tell our stories. And so I think by the nature of FABA and the amazing artists that are part of season 1, and many more seasons to come, them really taking stock and owning their own stories is what makes this really magical.
And it was a really involved production. Can we talk a little bit about just from being on the ground at the time, what does it take to put on a production like that, to make it look like that?
I mean, how many days? I can't even. It was one day.
It was a packed day.
Well, I'm thinking about the prep time too. So I was on the ground with Stephanie and her team for, I think it was a number of days, a lot of site visits and running through tech and the things that they had, the things that they needed, the things that another age could provide. And so it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of grit, it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of teamwork. You know, oftentimes when you're in the production world, you may not know or have all of the answers, and it's important to work with people who are like, you know, we'll figure it out together, or, you know, when you're working with spaces like Another Age who are very, very supportive of work like this. I remember some of my team when I used to work there took time out of their day to be able to help out with Stephanie and the team. And so I think that's just a testament again to how important FABA is and this particular project.
And for you, Punky, so we'll talk about the process from that application to the day you walk on set.
Absolutely. When they emailed me back, I was like so happy because I'm like, I want to shoot a video. It's supported by the city. It was like ideas. Ideas were flowing. We had a couple ideas, and we went with this one, which was inspired by like live performance videos that we had seen and other stuff. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's run with this because I'm like, this is like almost like something you can submit to get booked for festivals. Because they're like, oh, this is the performance. Oh, you guys figured it out? Yeah. So yeah, it was such a cool process to just brainstorm, get the ideas out, and yeah, just create this moment right here.
Yeah, and even though it was, you know, one day of shooting, it was at least a couple months of production. And what you ended up capturing, if I can say so, was just this, like you said, a kind of a calling card for this is what you're gonna get. Can you talk about what has the feedback been from people you've shared the videos with?
Absolutely, they're like, this is beautiful. The lighting's beautiful. Everything came on timing. For the most part, everything was just it was a free flow of like. I can't explain, like, it was just a free flow, like, everything just felt natural. When I messed up, the team was like, it's okay, we'll do it again. Yeah. And they asked me, like, you want to do this? We can do it 3 more times. I'm like, are you guys sure? But I was feeling confident, even though they were like, you know, we could keep doing it. I was like, no, I think we did that, like, you know? Even with, like, we had little hiccups on the set with I think the lighting, or something. It was like something small.
Timing.
Yes, because it's like the lighting was all the timing. Yeah. And then like it was really dope. I loved it.
So what are you hoping for? Well, first of all, what kind of advice would you give to an artist that's seeking to do video in general? Let's start there.
I'm gonna tell you guys, the first thing that I'm thinking of in my head is love yourself. Like, love, no matter what you look like on camera, you have to appreciate yourself. Find something, like, even if you don't like your hair, love it. Be like, you know what? It could be worse. It could be worse. And you look good, you know what I mean? Just be like, I look good. Just like stay confident in yourself, love yourself, and just do it. get it done. It's the most important thing.
What is it? Oh, yeah. Let's pull up that. Get it done. Talk about for you, Jessica, from having the tornado of FABA come through, and then to see the result and to see what the fruits of the labor. What does that mean for you?
Wow. First I was like, I know exactly where that took place when I watched it, and then I was thinking about how like the technical skills was super on point for this video. I mean, you're already beautiful, you're already talented, but I think like the team did an incredible job like encompassing that. So it feels like I feel proud of seeing the end result.
Talk to us about Secret Society of Black Creatives. Tell us a little bit about who they are and how can people get involved?
Yeah, so Secret Society of Black Creatives is not a secret organization, even though it sounds like that. It is a nonprofit organization that supports Black and brown creatives, sustainability and learning in the film industry. So we have a number, it is a member-based organization, and the way to get involved is to go to theSSBC.org. And so we have a big focus on production, like folks who work in production, as well as actors. So we have a actors clinic, we have PA workshops, we have the dojo, which shout out to Marissa Scott Williams, who's one of the supporters of FABA, but also one of the board members of SSBC. And she has a dojo program where we take folks who, no matter their age, are interested in film and they get on the ground experience in the production world. And so what we essentially want to do is try to get as many Black and brown people into the film industry that are interested. Folks who may have transferable skills, like if you know how to cook, you can actually make money feeding people on set. If you're good with hair, you can enter the industry doing hair, makeup, etc. And that's some of the things we don't collectively talk about enough. And so SSBC is kind of a resource to help people use their skill sets to enter the film industry if they don't already come from like, I don't know, college, like studying film or whatever.
I love that. There is a place for everybody in the industry. There really, really is. And then briefly, tell us about Embrace. What do we got going on in Embrace?
So Embrace Boston is a nonprofit organization. We're at the center of celebrating Black joy through arts and culture and research and policy. And so I'm the head of activation. We have huge activations, I'd say maybe once a quarter, which are essentially large-scale community events. And so what we have coming up is Embrace Ideas Festival, which happens the week of Juneteenth. Juneteenth Honors, where we honor 5 different couples who've done a lot of social justice work and carrying out the legacy of Martin and Coretta Scott King. We have Embrace Ideas Festival, the conference day, which is Friday, June 20th, where Morgan DeBon, founder and CEO of Blavity, will be talking about Black legacy building. We have Chef versus Chef that day, where 2 Black chefs go head to head making their spin of potato salad, their small bites, and a number of other things. We're also joining forces with the Roxbury Unity Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, June 21st. So to learn more, you can go to embraceideasfestival.org.
So your June just got busy, everyone. June is busy. That's great. Yeah. Claps to that. Oh my gosh. So Punky. All right. What is so first of all, we want to know, what is Punky up to next? What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Absolutely. So right now I'm working on an EP, and the song that you heard, you guys, is going to be on it. I believe it was played today. So that's going to be late July. And yeah, I'm getting ready for shows. I have some shows coming up, and yeah, I'm excited. We about to get the ball rolling a little bit. I've been in the house. And you guys can find me on Instagram at Punky the Singer. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, Punky the Singer as well. I'm on Facebook as well. And I'll be dropping some merch very soon as well. So thank you guys.
So before I let you go, I want one more piece of sage advice for those people who, especially those young women who are thinking, I want to use my voice, I want to be a singer, doing what you do. What's one thing you would tell them?
It might sound cliche, but never give up and follow your dream forever. Don't give it up. Don't stop.
Thank you so much. Right. Jessica and Punky the singer. I got you. All right, give it up one more time. Let's go. Let's keep this train rolling. And I need a musical interlude while I change my scripts. That was the thing we should have planned on, was a musical interlude. What'll be, I don't know. I need a walk-in song. We'll have to figure that one out. Okay. All right. Coming up next, we have Billy Dean Thomas, a.k.a. the Queer B.I.G., which I love. All right, Billy Dean is a hip-hop recording artist who challenges the music industry with quick-witted punchlines highlighting intersectional feminism, social justice, and growing up in a gentrified city. For this special freestyle track by Billy Dean, we hit the shores of Duxbury Beach, and oh man, it was fun. It was a fun one. So we filmed a very special music video all about letting the lyrics take the center stage and using visuals to emphasize so Billy Dean's words could really speak for themselves. So this video packs a punch in every way. All right. Let's welcome Billy Dean to the stage. And then I have another special guest who's going to come up and join us, is Liliana. Where is Liliana? Hello, come on down. All right, let's talk about who this wonderful person is too. So Liliana Senecal works in the camera department as a first and second camera assistant and rising camera operator for events, corporate, commercial. Get her to work for you. She does all the things. Lily was our camera assistant for Ayana Mac's video, which was the very first video produced for season 1. And Lily's skills and cheerful energy kept things smooth. So we wanted to bring Lily up here to talk a little bit about production as well, as we also talk about Billy Dean's amazing video. And I got to be on this set, and it was so much fun hanging out on the beach all day. From November. It was great. So first off, I want to ask you both, what was it like for you, in your opinion, to be in this very diverse creative space? You get the microphones. You're stuck.
Honestly, it was really amazing. Like, when you work on larger sets, you're stuck in lanes, so you don't always meet everyone. So when you're in a smaller space that's a more intimate setting, it's really awesome to kind of be able to interact and then understand what other people are doing around you. And it feels more homey, especially with the first one, the one I worked on, because like we were like in her personal space, like her home. It was really nice to like have a smaller crew, so it wasn't as intimidating for her or for like maybe some of us. So, yeah.
What about you, Billy? And talk a little bit about the experience overall. Yeah.
I had an incredible time, but I think this question for me, what comes up is just that there's so many different ways to be diverse, and so I feel like in terms of gender diversity, I think it's super important. In terms of racial diversity, it's super important, and all of the other components of identity. But I think one of the biggest reasons that it's important is just because it's crucial to see folks that look like you so that you can understand that you can also be doing these things and have these positions and roles. And also it just allows you to be able to like manifest that for yourself. And I think seeing something and recognizing you can do it and then manifesting it, it's all kind of like this karmic train to get you to that space. And so that's why it's important to me.
So tell us a little bit about Billy Dean, how you came to FABA, how the process came together for you.
Yeah, I think I was just doom scrolling on Instagram.
We got a theme here on the Instagram, okay.
Well, Instagram is so important. I utilize it for joy and just comedy and all the things. But I was just scrolling on Instagram and I happened to see, I feel like the post was just like, work with a crew of people to create a free video for you. And so to hear free and video in a sentence that's important because I understand like what it costs, what it takes to get a group of people together to make a video. So to hear that somebody wants to like potentially work with you to give you that like as an offering is that's not like a small thing. And so that really stuck out to me, and I was like, I would love to apply to this to see if, you know, folks would find my music worthy or enjoy it enough to make a video for it. And so I applied, and I was super honored to be selected, and I'm sure we're gonna get into more things, but I couldn't be happier with how it came out. So
I love that. So for Lily, when you got the call to come work with FABA, what was your first kind of entry to that? How were you sold on it? So like, hey, come and work with us. What was that process like for you on behind the camera?
Right. Okay. So when I was working with FABA, or I got introduced, it was really early on for me in like my camera department years. I was in the what we would call PA purgatory for a little bit. So sometimes it's really hard to like get the confidence and to break out of that. Yeah. And so FABA and Stephanie gave me the opportunity to kind of give myself the confidence to further pursue the path that I really wanted to take. So it was really nice to be able to work with her in like that position and to gain more of my own personal confidence to further pursue that path.
So what has it been like now since? What kind of jobs have you been doing since FABA?
Since FABA, I would say nowadays I work pretty much full time in the camera department, which is very exciting. I do a lot in kind of like the corporate world. So like events, I'll like AC for like cameras, or like I'll cam up for like internal corporate events, stuff like that. I got to do a couple indie features where I got to pop on for a couple days and meet some other camera department people and like learn their workflow better to just like expand my knowledge and to hone more of those skills. So
that's great. Yeah. That's awesome. Billie Dean, I want to talk more to you about let's talk about the importance of video for artists like yourselves. And especially, I know we're talking about the free and the video and how expensive it is, but especially in this kind of space that was created.
Yeah, I think the music video or any kind of video and content right now is like a calling card. And so I feel like if, you know, your videos are super high quality, it just gives off a certain presentation that allows folks to take you more seriously. They want to work with you. Sometimes they might even think like, oh, this artist is already signed. Like when I was watching your video, I was like, this is incredible. Who are you? I want to know you. Are you signed? And so I think I appreciate it. I think it definitely sets a tone for who you are and how you hope to present yourself to the music industry, or even if you're not a musician, as a visual artist, as a muralist, whatever art you do, it definitely just allows for folks to take you more seriously. And so I think, yeah, did I answer your question?
Yeah. But, you know, especially too, you know, we created a space, you know, and I love what you said about there are many different ways to be diverse. And as we've heard from, you know, before, and when we were talking about Ayana's project, is the intention of making sure that the people on the project also represent the same sort of inclusive spaces as the artists. So what was that like for you to see that?
It was, oh man, I just remember feeling like everything that I said, whether it was a suggestion or how I felt wearing a certain outfit or whatever, was validated and acknowledged. And that's not something, I've been in many different types of sets and in many different, I guess, production spaces, and that is not always the case. Even if I'm paying my own money, I'm still not being acknowledged and listened to. So to be getting a free video and somebody listen, that's kind of crazy. It shouldn't be, but it is. And so I think for me that was really key. I think also, you know, no shade to cishet men, but I think having less of that energy also was really helpful in allowing for folks to just like flow better. And I just think like when you share likeness and identity and you know, whatever that may look like, it really helps for understanding. It helps for, just not like being vulnerable and being okay to talk about certain things. Like I wouldn't, you know, kind of not TMI, but kind of like thinking about like how I look, right? It's a video, so you're thinking about what does your face look like, what does your body look like. There's a lot of vulnerabilities with making videos, and so to be able to talk to people who I feel understand me and my gender identity, and to say to the creative director, like, hey, like, we're two non-binary folks, like, I don't want to show this part of my body, or like, is that okay? Like, I can have that conversation, and that doesn't happen all the time. So it's not something you can pay for.
Yeah.
And it is priceless.
And I feel like this particular shoot, I mean, we shot every moment out of that day. Like, we squeezed every inch of that day. But there was a lot of complicated things we were trying to do with the mirrors. Did y'all see the mirrors?
Yeah.
Nightmare. Anyway.
But look how amazing it came out. That shot, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. So I was
But to your point about like how, you know, you as an artist want to look and spending the time crafting that, we tried some things.
Even that, just to like,
yes.
You gave me a thought. So even down to the mirror, like, how meta is that? To like be in like a non-binary, looking in a mirror and feeling good about it in a music video. That's some gender euphoria right there. So thank you guys.
I'm gonna get all choked up. Because I want to shout you out a little bit too. Okay, because we worked together on a terrible little film called Mama Bear, and you were my first team PA, and you said to me, I was like, "What do you really want to do, Lily?" And you're like, "I'd like to do camera." And when did we do Mama Bear? We did Mama Bear like two years ago. 2 years ago.
Right.
And from that, you have manifested being in the camera department. Like, it's Lily in camera. It's not Lily the PA. It's not Lily the something else. You are in the camera department now, and I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, Lily, I just appreciate you so much because that shoot for me, because that was like in 2023. I think it was September 2023. So it's been 2 years almost. This was like one of my first projects where I was officially DPing. And Lily was it was like one of your first times being a camera assistant. So we were both in this like new territory together. And it was like really cool, but it was also like really scary. Like, it was also really scary. So I just think like this is like what we wanted. Like when we were like envisioning this, we were like, oh, like we want to like make an opportunity for people to like move up and like just like have an opportunity to come in and like be like, I want to be a camera assistant, or I want to be like a first AC, or I want to be a camera operator, and like kind of just like take that opportunity. And like it came out so good. Like, and it just like, and it's because we like worked together, and like I don't know, I just had to say that because it was like a really special moment for me too. So I just think like, yeah, like the program really did that, I think, for the crew. Like a lot of the crew that we had in all of these productions, like Punkies, we had like an AC that became an operator for that one. And like, you know, like we had some PAs that became like art department folks. And like we had some people that had never worked on a film set. And I was like, you're great you have all this cool stuff, and you're great, you have a great visual eye, I want you to be the production designer. Like, or I want you to be the set dresser. And they like killed it. So it's just like, I just think that's so cool, and I just needed to say that, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
Well, I want to talk about the shoot that we did, because you know, that was one of the ones I first came on as an on-set producer, and I wasn't just off somewhere.
You killed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kept us on time.
And, you know, but it was one of the first sets where I looked around and I was like, yeah, there's, again, no shade to cis-het men, but I looked around and I was like, none in sight. But that's to the point is that, and something that I feel very strongly about being a part of this project was that it can be done. It's not something that we're going to hope for. It's not a 50% thing. It can be done all the way with the intention. And I think what we put together was great. It's amazing. And so I want to talk to you about you gave us some news on that you were going to be at Boston Calling. And we were so excited for Boston Calling. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Boston Calling, I had an incredible time. I think this video really just kind of gave me some push and motivation to actually want to share that news and also just feel proud of what I'm doing. Because I think sometimes you go through highs and lows of like, am I even an artist for real? Like, what am I doing? Like, I don't have great content. Like, is this going to make sense? How do I get people interested in coming to see me at Boston Calling? And so I think everything, it just happens the way it's supposed to, worked out with the timing. I thought we performed really well. We met a lot of new people and supporters. I think it was just perfect. Everything was perfect timing. I also wanted to piggyback off of what you both said about how like some of the production staff started as, maybe just PAs and are now doing film. Some of us are just starting as independent underground artists, and hopefully we take it to the next level and these videos get us some deals, and you know what I mean? So you're doing it's happening on both sides, which is incredible. So just more about what you're doing.
I love that. I love that so much. So, okay, well, do you think we're seeing you at Boston Calling again?
Maybe in 10 years, if
Okay.
I go up and I come back, and you can come.
Well, okay, so where can we see you now? Where can we support you now? Tell us everything.
So this song or freestyle is going to be in an album that I have that is probably dropping, keep it between us all, in the fall. So I'm working on a campaign right now for that album. This is going to be one of the tracks. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, at Billy D. Thomas, everywhere. I have a website. Reach out if you ever want to chat, or if you have some music and you want some feedback. I'm also really into that. I love listening to other artists' work and helping support folks with artist relations too. So I'm here and I'm down to support.
Thank you so much. Billy Dean Thomas, Liliana Senecal, thank you so much. Oh man, I need my music. Somebody play me. All right, I gotta check in with everybody. How are we all feeling? Are we feeling good? All right, we have our last video of the night. Afrobeats Dance Boston. They are a dance company that focuses on contemporary African music, African pop music. Afrobeats is a catch-all term created by a DJ from the UK that reflects the current Pan-African spirit and movement towards Africa. Afrobeats Dance Boston builds community and a community in a fun way that is accessible to people, and is part of her season 1 artist. Afrobeats Dance Boston brought the energy. I'm still dancing. And FABA was able to capture that. We sat down with Lakeisha and Vic to discuss their passion for dance and the impact of Afrobeats and the importance of building community through movement. So we are excited to see how FABA created the Afrobeats Dance Boston story. Holding it down for fashion tonight. Oh my God. Come on down. Look, can we just have a moment for these outfits? Look at that. Come on. I don't know what planet we're going to, but I'm there. I am so there. Okay, there we go. Here you are. Oh my gosh. Okay, first off, tell us, how did you find FABA? How did you come to the project?
Okay, so we have a WhatsApp. We do everything on WhatsApp. And it was the season of we're trying to bounce back from COVID. And we're just like, we need to apply for a bunch of stuff. And our friend who does PR, Dominique, she just dropped it in the chat. And we were like, all right, well, I had time on my hands because I was unemployed at the time. So I looked through and I was, all right, we could do this. I know how to answer these questions. We got stuff to put in here. And at the time, I also wanted to do this video, dance content video. And I was like, oh, this could be perfect for it because we don't have the money, and the ideas I had were costly. So we applied, we got it, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's our first grant.
First one feels so good.
It does. And that's how we came to be with y'all.
So talk to us about, because this particular video was shot over a period of time from, the rehearsals and the studio, the sit-down interview. Talk a little bit about the process for you once you're like, all right, Grant got, now we got to do it.
I love that. I'm Vic, by the way. This is Keish. Yeah, Lakeisha. So we first, of course, we met with Stephanie and Kira to pretty much like brainstorm what the idea that Keisha had. So pretty much they're coming back to us like, we need a mood board. We need this. We're like, okay, all right, we're gonna put together that mood board. And so, we were able to get our creative ideas together, but then after we met a few times and kind of really refined what the idea was gonna be, we landed on the lovely evergreen video that we were able to shoot. And so from there, they came to one of our community classes that you saw, and then we were also able to utilize a space in Boston called Boston Dance Studios to shoot the dance portion. So that was really cool.
Talk about why there's some of the obvious reasons, but what are like the real crux of how important it is for you all in Afrobeats to have a video?
So one of the reasons we diverted from a dance content video to this evergreen video is because we wanted something that will live forever. Something that will like explain what we do with the visuals, and then it can just be on our website, be on our social media as we grow. So at the time, we did this at Boston Dance Studio. Currently, if we were to do this again, we would be at our space. Not our space, we're partnering with Urbanity now, so it's our space.
Great.
So it would be like, then you have a full range of really what we do and where we be at, So it was just, it's important because a lot of people, like I said in the video, Afro dance, Afrobeats is still very new if you're like not African. So it's just nice to have something that explains what we do on a very generalized and layman terms, and you see it and you're like, once you see this, you're like, I want to see what they got going on, who want to come to a community class, raise your hand. Okay, she's been in the class. So, yeah.
And that's important too, because I'm watching the video and I see myself in the video, so being able to see it and say, oh, okay, this is for everybody. Yeah. So talk a little bit about the production side of it for you. What was it like working with a team of pretty much all women? Well, that set, we were all women on that set.
Yeah, that was very beautiful, first and foremost. For me, I grew up in a program called Girls Inc. Shout out to Girls Inc. of Lynn. So women empowerment was like my thing growing up, right? Also part of a sorority, so just that sisterhood, that feeling of women in a community was so important. And it just felt really good. We were able to just be ourselves. Keisha and I, we have just such great chemistry as a duo, and then we all fed they fed off of that for us. It wasn't awkward. We were able to really express ourselves and also give feedback of oh, we want to do this. And it reached a point when we were recording, we were getting creative. Steph was like, okay, I'm gonna put this sheet right here. We were just gonna fling the sheet. You guys gonna come through? We're like, okay, sure, And so we just had that opportunity to just have fun with it, and just I'm not gonna hold you, the masculine energy sometimes can be a lot, right? And so it was just I'm with my people. We're good. No shade, no tea, but that's just really what it is sometimes,
So talk about kind of the impact that the video has had for you all after production. It's all right, you got the video now. What does it mean?
On the production note, I do want to say,
yes, please.
That was my first time doing something very official like that. So when we did the interview portion, it was the 2 chairs, and then you have all this camera stuff going on, and it was pause, there's a truck rolling through. And so it was really this is the real, are we famous? I think we're kind of the big deal, from the mini and I'm really into documentaries, life is a movie kind of thing. So I was really this is, you guys are looking right now at the face of two very impactful, influential women, okay? In ways more than just dance. So what I like about this experience, and I'll get to like how it goes to what Afrobeats will do with this, is how we dance, yes, but we are so much more than like just that. And there's so many ways to dance through life and to dance through different positions, to dance through different spaces. And this video will help us kind of do that and help people to see how we do that, and also like for ourselves, like as individuals within a community. It's like, I'm gonna take this experience and go off and do great things with it, and so will Vic, and so will all of the dancers. And as a community in the Afrobeats Dance Boston Company, like we want to do other things in addition, using dance as kind of like the vehicle, like with mental health and wellness, and kind of just be able to branch out from just this one little seed, you know?
Right. There's so much more. So much more.
So much more.
Well, all right. So, what's something, especially for artists, whether they're dancers, singers, visual artists, why do you think it's important that they engage with media in this way? Or what kind of advice would you give to them? Because, like, a little intimidating. Come in and we're like, just pause, action,
Yeah, no, there was a lot. I mean, it was definitely our first time, and it was a great experience, and y'all kept us calm and right on track, so I loved it. But it's important because, I mean, we live in a media, very heavy media-driven era, right? Everything and anything is on social media. That's how people are getting opportunities, right? That's how people are marketing themselves. And so it's important to really be able to highlight yourself and showcase your work. Right now, there's a lot of talk about, like everything doesn't have to be so polished as well, right? And so I think being able to take, like for us, the content that we were doing with Afrobeats Dance Boston from our phones, we're over here using platforms like InShot and, like CapCut and things to make our own stuff. So being able to come into this space and have that guidance as well from experts, because we had no idea what we were doing. Even though our PR team, they are also, very like well versed in this, like the whole production aspect, that's a whole different ballgame, right? And so being able to have that opportunity to take what you usually do like as raw footage or just like something off of our phones or whatever and put it together in something like this, it's very key, it's very important because that's how you get yourself out there, this video is gonna be with us forever, and FABA is our fam now. Like, we are locked in for real. Like we are locked in everywhere we go. It's like, this video is gonna go far. So it's really about marketing yourself, and also when it comes down to like social media, I think it's very important to not get caught up in all of the things that we see. It's very easy to get into that fast movement of influencer, content creating, things like that. And it's like, but are you being authentic? And I think with FABA, that's what offered us that opportunity to be our authentic selves. There was, no strings attached. It was like, hey, we're here to support the work you all are doing. And so being able to take that back and then think about that as well. It's like if you decide to start creating content for yourself, think about what you're doing the content for, right? A lot of people, they may start it because they want to be able to get those 10 million views so they can get the TikTok brand deals and things like that. All money ain't good money, okay? So we want to make sure that you are really investing in yourself, but investing not just for the money at the end of the day, because that's how you get burnt out. That's how you'll do it for a little bit and it's not the same anymore, right? And so really understanding what your passion and what your niche is, and then going for it. But also, there's multiple niches you can have. Remember that as well, right? Don't feel like you have to fall into one box. Like Keisha said, we are dancers, but we are also creatives in many other ways. And so being able to showcase that is also very important.
I want all money, not good money, on a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, I might have to.
That's a good one. That is really good. All right, I want to talk about one thing you mentioned too about the COVID of it all, because so much of like even FABA in general came out of this idea is like we've been hiding in our houses, the arts has kind of hidden away under a rock because of COVID, and which is I'm still like we're in a room together. It still feels weird sometimes, because those times are crazy. So talk about, I mean, especially where what you're doing is dance, togetherness, the physicality. Talk about how that's changed since COVID, since we've done this video, and where you are now with all of that.
COVID, I still do virtual classes. Like, when I was taking a class, it was like, you do what you can, but like, when I had to teach a virtual class, I was like, don't ever sign me up for this again. It's just something that is just not there, and I'm fighting for my life, trying to feel the energy that I'm never gonna feel because it's on the phone or a computer, and then they're like, I can't hear the music, and you know what? I just want to exit the Zoom. I'm ending this meeting for everybody. So to be from there, to be in that packed class, and so a little history. Let me chat you guys up a little bit, right? So when Afrobeat started, we started like in 2017, and we used to have classes on Tuesdays or Mondays, like bouncing back between Monday and Tuesday. And it was full, like, because we had $5 classes, okay? That was the time of $5 classes. And it was a different leadership at the time, and we would just have classes, and it was consistent, and it was like the vibe was there. And we would have guest classes, like we would bring choreographers from other places to Green Street Studios in Cambridge. And those classes, too, were like, again, sold out because Instagram, you would see these dancers who have viral videos, and then they're coming to Boston, and they're like, I gotta get in that class. And then COVID happened, and everything was kind of down, and we tried to keep that energy with the community classes online, guest classes online, but it just wasn't the same. So when we started again, like in 2021 with in-person classes, our numbers were lower, and you'd have some people online, some people in the flesh, and it just wasn't there. And we together, because we were the new leadership at the time, we've slowly built it up to where like we've created an energy so people know what to expect when they come to class. And it's become so much so that we had a guest class who did come early, like post-COVID, and then came back again when it was regular, or in this new life that we live. And he was like, yo, y'all did, like, he saw it for himself. And he's like, he sees the difference in, like, the energy that Boston has now when people come to a community class, a guest class is insane. Like, and I say insane in just, like, a way where it's like, everybody just comes ready to dance, ready to have fun, ready to move, ready to kind of just be a little like, okay, I'm gonna trust you, we're gonna have fun. So I just think, and now we have this video where it kind of like captures all of that. Not the guest classes, but you still get the vibes. Yes.
So I was wondering, can we get some vibes?
Yes, we can get some vibes. Are y'all ready for vibes? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna give you a thank you. Sorry, I got excited, cut y'all off from clapping. We love the flowers over here. So we're gonna have a performance for you guys, but not us. You know, the company is more than just these two beautiful faces here in front of you today. But as you see in the video, we are a community. So at the end of the performance, I just don't want y'all to be so captivated that you're like, wow, I could never, because you will. So, and it's gonna start tonight. So I'm just getting you mentally ready to get your body ready to move. Because y'all been sitting for a while. So I know y'all want to get the blood flowing from the head to the feet and back up again, okay?
Let's get ready to move.
Right.
Okay. Of course.
Let me figure it out.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna give you two just a minute.
Yes.
We got to get these open and doors open, yes? And I would like to turn the microphone over to Stephanie.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yes. Firstly, I want to thank our amazing crew again. Everybody here that's like doing the projections, like our sound is amazing. Photo. Kara's making a sick video of tonight. It's going to be awesome.
Woo, Kara!
And AJ, give it up for our amazing MC. She's perfect. Yeah, so a couple things. So we're gonna go out on the patio for that performance. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna say something on the mic that like I don't care. Kendall and Lulu, if you guys don't mind taking some lights outside, that would be awesome, just so we can put some color on our beautiful performers. But while we're just waiting a couple minutes, like 2 minutes literally, for our performers to get ready, I did want to make an announcement. So we don't have funding for season 2, sadly. We're trying to find funding. So, community, right? Like, we keep each other in the loop. Follow us on Instagram if you don't already. We try to repost like opportunities that we see for artists, like work opportunities or grants, like anything like that. And obviously we're very focused on stuff for like marginalized artists, like BIPOC artists, genderqueer, gender diverse, women. So that's one thing. How many people in here are artists or like hobby, career, passion? Love that. Most of us. Mom, you should be raising your hand. You're an artist. My mom's here. She's amazing. We have been trying to get grants for events like this. We might be doing one in Somerville, so stay tuned for that potentially. What is definitely on the books is on June 17th, I'm going to be doing a workshop with Arts and Business Council on video strategy for artists. So what we did with this was, as Keish and Vic were just talking about, like, we did a lot of like sitting down with artists and being like, who are you? What's your aesthetic? Like, what's your identity? How can we make a video that's gonna serve you, not just like something that you're gonna like post once and like then we never see it again or something. We want something, video is a strategy, especially for artists. Like, media is how we get opportunities, it's how we show who we are. So that workshop is going to be specifically geared towards artists and how to kind of like brainstorm how to build a strategy around a video. You don't want to just have a video and then nothing to go with it. So if you're interested in that, like, hit me up or check out the FABA Instagram. We'll post a flyer of it probably this week. And it'll be virtual, so anybody can come from anywhere. It's free. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. So we are going to transition to the patio for our performance. There's a lot of food left, so feel free to eat some more food if you would like. Use the bathroom. Our wonderful DJ is going to put some music on, get the vibes going, prepared, and we can just head right out onto the patio. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.